Hello everyone, this is Kane again. I'm going to show you this time how to join a faction. And what I mean by faction is either the evil Imperials or the nice goody two-shoes rebels. I'm a bit biased if you haven't discovered. On this character I'm actually already an Imperial. Right here. I have a... oh, where is it? I don't think it shows it here anymore. It used to. It's right here. They moved over here for convenience. So right now I am a negative Imperial and negative Rebel points. Everyone starts out as a negative. Once this is working fully on the emulator, you will have to build out of the negative from the faction you want by taking missions from the faction you want to kill the other faction. It sounds complicated, it's not. Right now it's broken and you can just go to any trainer you want and just say, hey, I want to join. Let me join. And they'll be like, okay. And you'll be negative. They'll hate you, but they'll be like, okay, I don't care. That's not how it's supposed to work. This is just how it works right now. But in the future, the way to do it is you go to this trainer, and when you have a negative, he'll be like, get away, rebel scum. And for the rebels, they'll be away, get away, imperial scum, because they hate you. Even though you're not an Imperial or Rebel, they hate you automatically because you have a negative 30. Oh, this guy's so nice. He's killing my bowcats that have been chasing me forever now. My friends, I'll miss you. So he'll tell you to go away and earn faction in some way. Now, the way you earn faction is not these terminals. Usually there's a terminal for it here, but there's not. I'm just waiting for my vehicle. Give it a second. Sometimes it will randomly take time, and sometimes it's instantaneous. There's something in the game coding right now where it hiccups in the amount of time. Normally it will display if it's going to take longer than instantaneous. It'll say you were recently in combat, generating vehicle, 15 seconds of no combat, and the vehicle will spawn. If you get in combat, it will cancel and you won't get the vehicle. That's what it usually does. Right now I haven't been in combat for a while, so it should just spawn, but it's not. So I'm going to click this again. Oh, there it is. This bike's almost at the edge of death. All vehicles have health bars. This one is so close to death, that's why you see it's smoking and on fire. When you become a specific faction opposite someone else and you're attackable, they can shoot your bike and kill it. Any vehicle you have, they can kill. So if you have some rare, souped up Ferrari-looking vehicle in Star Wars, I would not recommend going around with it out and over, which I'll explain in a minute, which basically means attackable by other factions. So to get the faction points required, you either talk to this guy or this right here, and it's a mission terminal specific to factions, and they'll pay you decent money at first. The missions are kind of hard. All the missions will be go kill rebel bases or rebel camps of some sort. You accept it just like any other mission in this game. You say, are you sure you want to accept this? It's 1,198 meters to the southwest. Here's who created the mission and the target. Normally this will say like rebel base or some. Yeah, see, it's mission destroy Imperial non-military easy. So it's an easy mission. It's non-military, so it's for someone who's not of the Imperial, and destroy the rebel base. It would normally say, kill this rebel base for us, and it would say, mission easy, but the game's still coding, and they're working on it. So you hit OK, mission pops up, and this another waypoint styling, but this time it's orange, gives you on screen. You drive out, you kill the rebels, and then the mission completes, and you immediately get paid. It gets wired to your bank account, which is here. Instead of cash, they give you it to the bank account, I'm almost positive. So it gets wired to your bank account, and the moment it completes, you gain faction points. Once you have positive faction points, I can't remember, it's either just barely positive or 300 positive faction points. You can then talk to the recruiter, say, hang on, let me leave the Imperials. This will make it easier. I would like to resign. No, I am no traitor. So be it. He's putting the paperwork through. So here's the window you get when you have the required amount of faction points. You would like to join the military or the rebellion. You want to join the rebellion. You say yes. He says, "Are you sure? You might have to fight some NPCs." It's basically informing you as a player. It isn't useless. You shouldn't just hit this. It's informing you of something. It's informing you that as a player, rebel NPCs, or the opposite, Imperial NPCs if you were joining the rebellion, NPCs will be read to you and attack on sight. Because you're the Empire at that point, or the rebellion. And they'll attack you on sight. It also tells you that if you choose to become overt, or if you attack a rebel NPC, other players can attack you. So it's not smart thing, or not rebel players. If you attack rebel NPCs, all the rebel NPCs are going to gang you. If you see an enemy player, so if you're an Imperial and you see a rebel player who's overt, which means attackable, and you shoot him, he can then attack you back. But at first you're just a covert. You're not an overt, you're a spy at that point. That's how this game works with faction. You're either on leave, which means they can't attack you because they don't know you're an Imperial, or you're overt, on duty, and you're attackable. That's how the PvP system works. So basically, if you see someone who's overt, on duty, and you're off duty, and you shoot them, you are immediately on duty, and any other rebel can kill you, including that person. So that's what this guy tells you. He's giving you that information. He's just doing it in character, because the whole point of games like this, RPGs, is to immerse you. There's no point into telling you, well, this is just what happens. He's telling you in a way an Imperial officer or recruiter would. So you say yes, and you are now a combatant. NPCs will attack you on sight, but you cannot be attacked by other players. And then once you click over to, I think in this current build, it's Special Forces, you can either choose it or you can attack enemy players who are Special Forces, and you're immediately switched into it. So that's how you deal with factions. Join it, and then from then on, what you basically can do is you can keep doing missions, building up your faction points until you get to a certain amount, and at that point faction points are kind of like money. You then use those faction points to buy stuff, or you get ranked up. So you can either use faction points to just buy items, or if you have enough of them, you can go up a rank in the Imperial or Rebellion faction, so from Private to Colonel, upwards and onwards, and that unlocks not better, just different gear. Because in this game, it's not like a lot of MMOs. It's not, hey, the higher you get ranked, the better the items get. It's, hey, the better your rank gets, the cooler the items are, but it doesn't mean they're better. It just means they look cooler. Back in pre-CU, which is what this build is supposed to be, if they do it correctly, what that means is when you get to the highest Imperial or the highest Rebel rank, but I'll give you an example. If you get to the highest Imperial rank, you get all the way up there, you earn enough points, you get to the point where you can buy an ATST. You can get your own personal ATST walker. You can't ride it, you can't get in it. What you end up doing with it is you don't get in it, it just follows you around and you tell it to attack things. It's just it's a pet, basically. It's a combat pet. They weren't too great back in the day. They were just a really cool status symbol, like, hey, look at me, I just got this thing. So again, it's cool. It doesn't do a lot of damage, it's just cool. That's the point of all of this game. This game is not about getting the biggest and best stuff, it's getting the coolest thing to make your character cool. What makes your character good, what makes your character combat effective is you and how you play your class. So in other games, like, I'm getting off tangent here, but this is really important, and I really want to make this point come across correctly. If you want to be the best bounty hunter in the game, you want to hunt Jedi, and you want to be that bounty hunter that other players fear. Because in this game, when you're a bounty hunter and you grab a bounty hunting mission, a bounty, it's other players. Or NPCs, that's your choice, but you can pick players as long as they've been put on the bounty board. But if you want to be the best one that all the other players fear and they don't want to mess with you because they know you're really good and you always get that bounty, that's not because that bounty hunter has the best gun in the game that he got off some dungeon raid drop and the best armor. It's because he knows how to play his bounty hunter. He knows that he is specialized in carbines, which means he also grabbed Carbineer, which means he's a master Carbineer bounty hunter with a little bit of medic so he can heal. And he knows all of his abilities that he's gained from each and every box to such a point where he's comfortable and experienced, and he also knows how to take down Jedi because he's played for that long. This game is all about experience. It's not about the gear. It's not about raiding and getting the random drop and fighting your guild for that drop or pugs or something like that. It's about just learning the game, learning your class, becoming comfortable, and just that's it. It's going out there and learning. That's all this game is. And that's the point I wanted to come across. Sorry if I went off tangent a little bit there, but I feel it's important to understand. And that's pretty much it for this. I'll see you in the next video, which I should put out shortly.